What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with a preview for the weekly reset coming up for February 10th, as well as additional updates and news from Bungie. So this week in the game, there is yet another game update, so Bungie will be patching a few things, we'll talk about that briefly. On top of that, we had that unusual update over the weekend where DMG said, fully understand that the lack of information is leading to a lot of fear, uncertainty and doubt, and our teams are working to get you updated as soon as we can. He also said, can't apologize enough for the lack of communications around Destiny 2. So I'm not sure if this is the preamble to an update that we might get in the next week or so. Hopefully that will be the case, but I'll just have to keep you posted. Otherwise, for the in-game stuff this week, we'll cover featured activities, rewards, the Eververse store, as well as additional updates and conversation from the community. So, as always, if you enjoy the video, a rating would really help us out. Hit subscribe if you want to be kept up to date, but now let's get into it. First thing worth touching on today, yet again, we will see a game update for Tuesday, February 10th. So this will be update 9552. That means we get a little bit of downtime for around about an hour and a half immediately before the weekly reset. Then we'll get the patch notes. I'm not sure exactly what we'll see in this update, but I will keep you posted with the changes when we get to it on Tuesday. Slightly experimental over here for the Vanguard alerts. I've been recording the rotation of featured weapons and things over the last couple of weeks. This may potentially be incorrect, but I wanted to put it in anyway so that I can continue making sure this data is correct. So for the quick play Vanguard alerts this week, I believe we will see the something, that's the sniper. And then for the GM, we should get Horror's Least as the featured weapon. And these are the ones that contain or have the additional accelerated assault origin trait on them. So that should be the featured weapon pool for this week, but pardon my dust if it's slightly off at the moment, as it's the first time I've actually recorded the rotation. No one records these rotations anymore for one reason or another. So trying to make sure I've got that data for myself for future weekly resets. Otherwise, when we look to the Eververse store for this week, Gaming Animal has recently posted a full rotation for the Eververse store. Now, this has the potential to also have some errors in it, but according to this list, this week we should see the Taken Knife helmets. So helmets from the Taken armor set, and then a bunch of stuff featured from Crimson Days from back in the day. So that includes stuff like the Crimson Shell, the Undefeated Sparrow, Go About Your Business ornament for the Sweet Business, and the Prism ornament for Prometheus Lens. This Eververse rotation has been correct in the last 2 weeks, so hopefully that will still be the case this week. Kind of interesting that Bungie are featuring Crimson stuff again, but we are heading into mid-February, of course. So it could be an opportunity to grab some cosmetic items that haven't been featured for quite some time. Next up though, a lot of folks spend this time of year thinking about changing habits. Some cravings are hard to avoid, of course, but that isn't the only thing that makes quitting difficult. It's the habit or ritual that comes with it, and today's sponsor can help you, not just to quit, but to change the habit loop and reach for Fume instead. So Fume is a flavored air device aimed at helping you quit. Most important, it has no addictive chemicals and it doesn't make clouds or have batteries in it. It just pulls air through a core, and that creates a mild flavor that helps you replace your old habits, and because you always want to reach for them again, of course going cold turkey is difficult, but that's why Fume can make your journey easier, as it fills the void when cravings return, so that you won't be alone. Fume cores also come in loads of great flavors like these. My favorite is crisp mint because it's fresh and it reminds me why I disliked my old habits. And if you think you need to switch things up, then you probably do. The great thing about Fume is that it alleviates some of the pressure of actually doing it. Equally awesome is that right now, if you grab a journey pack with my link and code, you'll get a free Fume topper, which adds a soft replaceable mouthpiece to elevate your experience. So head to tryfume.com/houndish via the link below, or scan the QR code on screen today, and be sure to use code houndish to get the free topper. All of the details are for it down below, and thanks to Fume for sponsoring the video. Over here on the Renegades side, we're kind of used to what to expect at this point, but if you've earned any weekly shipments, they'll appear opposite the spider at the weekly reset. There is also the Territorial Prophet quest, which can award Renegade weapons with the Accelerated Assault origin trait on it as well. That refreshes weekly, so if you're working on any of those, there'll be new opportunities after the weekly reset. Only other thing that rotates is Equilibrium, where we have chances to pick up the Heirloom exotic once per week on each character, so good luck if you are still happening to be hunting that one, or indeed the Taken Crystal. Only mentioned on the PvP side, of course on Friday, we'll see another rotation for Trials of Osiris, and the Gift, Honors and Benevolence of the Nine Shaders are now available, dropping in the Trials playlist if you missed out on those from back in the day, so that's an additional reward component worth keeping in mind. Then, of course, on the Edge of Fate side, we'll get a refresh for the weekly missions featured on Kepler, and if you're below 550 power, there's an opportunity to get tier 5 weapons a little bit early, and we have one per week that can drop when completing these if you want to run them. Otherwise, there is the Sieve, which will drop tier 5s if you're at max power, and of course, the Kepler loot cave. So if you want to catch up on any of the Kepler rewards from back in the day, pretty decent armor sets. and a couple of good weapons as well, then you can of course look up that loot cave. Only mentions for the World tab are of course for legacy raids and dungeons, so things like Salvation's Edge, or over on Neptune, Root of Nightmares, stuff like that. If you want to farm for any of the exotics, or indeed the legendary loot pools, there are no lockouts in terms of reward drops anymore, so you can just farm away to your heart's content for any of the legacy raid loot, so that's worth bearing in mind. And for the Ascendant Challenge here in the Dreaming City from back in the day, this week it will be Agonarch Abyss, which can be found via the Bay of Drowned Wishes, so right next to the spawn, but if you want to see the location and collectibles for that, I'll run a clip at the end of the video. So for the moment, that's what we know about Destiny 2 this week. We'll have to see what's in the patch notes, see if we get any other surprises at Weekly Reset. I wouldn't necessarily hold your breath for that, but hopefully there is additionally the opportunity for Bungie to give us some communication about the future of the game this week. We will just have to wait and see. For the moment though, that's what we've got. So if you did find the video useful, a rating would very much help us out on the channel. Be sure as well to hit subscribe. I'll keep you posted on Tuesday with patch notes, featured rewards, and any additional updates from Bungie, so keep it locked and loaded. But otherwise, cheers for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.
The current. You're so deep into the